Hello, welcome to this your channel of the Beta Eurofan. That's me. It seemed that United Kingdom was on their way to achieve a good result in the last edition, and it is that taking into account that the name of Oli Alexander was widely known worldwide with a successful career on his back, the proposal presented by him looked very promising. However, the impact was not as expected as he could not succeed to conquer the audience. Apparently, that staging loaded with typical cliches of the LGBTI community dispelled the chances of getting a better result by placing 18th in the final ranking with nil points received from the televote, which is not the first time that happens for the country unfortunately. Now we will see who were the next artists that took the baton from him by representing the British nation in Basel. Here we go. For today's episode, I'm going to review the British entry for Eurovision 2025, which has been represented by the girl trio Remember Monday with the song What the Hell Just Happened. It is probably the big question by many in the country after the result achieved during the last edition, but now they gave a step to the front in an attempt to revert the situation. Without further delay, let's move on with the review. As usual, we start by reviewing their biography and career before living their Eurovision experience in the Alpine country. Remember Monday is a British country pop girl trio coming from the town of Farnborough, located in southern England, formed by Lauren Bird, Holly Young Hull and Charlotte Steele. They know each other since their high school days, having been together in the performing arts classes during their studies in the sixth form college of the town, developing a strong friendship since then, especially by sharing a passion for music. After graduating, each one started to have their own experiences both in musical theater and singing. In the case of Lauren, she participated in the musicals Matilda and Sex. Charlotte, in the other hand, played the character of Jane Banks in the Mary Poppins musical before becoming a choreographer, a vocal coach, and a deputy head of the performing arts school, while Holly would be the most experienced from the three of them, having participated in several musicals like The Phantom of the Opera on Les Miserables, becoming in the process a performing arts teacher for some years, having won the first season of the singing competition My Cat Wrong in 2009, and even more remarkable, having participated together with the National Youth Musical Theatre in their concert gala for the Queen Elizabeth II 18th birthday celebrations. Many years later, in 2013, after their solo experiences, they decided to start a musical project together, initially under the stage name of Houston, changing it later to Remember Monday in 2018. Many must be wondering why they opted for this name, and that was because of the curious fact that they only had free time that day together and sing together. At first, they will focus on performing covers of local and international hits, with which they will gain a wide legion of fans in social media. They will participate during the following year in the 8th season of the British version of The Voice, where they were coached by the renowned American singer and actress Jennifer Hudson, being eliminated during the knockouts round with an original song composed by them. After their time in the talent show, they will start to release singles from them, while keeping their jobs at the same time, until they decided in 2023 to leave them definitely to focus on their musical career, releasing their first EP that same year, consolidating very quickly as one of the most outstanding emerging groups in the British musical scene. During last year, they will continue performing in big stages of the British capital with even more rising fame, and even they were invited by their former coach during their time in The Voice to her talk show, The Jennifer Hudson Show in the United States, ending the year with the release of their second EP. Musically speaking, they have very clear musical influences that have defined their style, all of them from country music. The American bands The Chicks and Pistolanis, and the American singers Emmylou Harris, Linda Ronstadt, and Dolly Parton. That, in addition to their vocal skills, their chemistry and authenticity between them as a result of the strong bond they have and the way they harmonize their voices, have helped them to make a name for themselves among the musical artists of the genre in the country. Having seen a little more of them, let's take a look at how they end up becoming the British British representatives for the contest. In mid-October last year, the British public broadcaster confirmed that they have been on the ongoing search for the next entry for the contest since many months ago, having contacted into process to several record labels and songwriters, and that it won't be officially announced for this March. However, during a radio program of the British Public Radio in early last February, two hosts stated that the girls from Remember Monday would have been selected to represent the United Kingdom in Basel, leading to a multitude of media outlets in the country to spread the news very quickly without the broadcaster neither confirming or denying those statements. As the weeks went by, expectations were much lower as there were not any margin for a surprise until the broadcaster, still stitched to the original plan, finally confirming early last March the selection of the girl trio, the first one in 26 years by the way, releasing both the song and its accompanying official music video. Narrating the consequences of a crazy night. Now we will check out more in detail about this proposal with which they have represented the British nation this time. In this opportunity, the melody is a track that blends country music and power pop, with which they adapted the instinctive style with the classic sounds from British pop rock which are widely distinguished. What to say about the voices of them? They are all sing fantastic. While each one has its own moment to stand out throughout the song, it is during the chorus where they combine their voices with such perfect and amazing harmonies that are very pleasant to listen. Regarding the lyrics, it has been written fully in English by the trio themselves together with a group of songwriters which already have previous experience on composing entries for the contest. In one hand, there is Danish Julie Agar, who participated as songwriter a couple of times, first for Malta in 2022 for the song I Am What I Am, performed by Emma Muscat, and then for Austria in last year for the song Will Will Ray, performed by Colleen. In the other hand, there are the English songwriters Sam Brennan and Tom Hollings, who were the co-authors of the song Embers, which was the British entry in 2021, performed by James Newman. And finally, there is Danish Thomas Stengard, who has been a songwriter for many entries in various countries, being the most remarkable one only Teardrops, the winning song for Denmark in 2013, performed by Emily de Forest during the edition held in Malmö, Sweden. About the context behind it, they describe it as a very autobiographical story about friendship and those moments of disorientation after a wild night in which they reflected on experiences of mutual support during difficult moments they have had. In this sense, they also have commented that the song is a true reflection of their own sensations as a trio by participating at the contest, describing it as a quite surreal experience which also reflects about that long friendship they have since many years ago. Reading the lyrics in more detail, it talks about what happens to them after a hectic and wild night, probably product of an intense drunkenness, which have made them feel uninhibited and behaving in ways that they would not do in normal conditions, like swinging from a chandelier, go to the top of the roof and jump to the pool, or calling an ex-partner. In fact, the latter aspect is the key, as they admit later that they have been quite disastrous because of a hard year, with supposing emotional terms, blaming directly to the ex-partner. More than a message, the track transmits a whirlwind of emotional states where happiness, confusion, sadness, and sorrow intertwine, in which show how, according to them, takes relevance the emotional support we give and receive from our friends, especially in the not-so-good moments in our lives. It was supposed that they would take the crazy contest transmitted with the song to the official music video, showing it just like that. So let's check it out in full detail. The plot begins with them in a luxurious house where a big party took place, judging by the mess all over the place. What usually happens many times when the celebration turns wilder than expected. Holly is initially sleeping on the garden fountain, Charlotte is doing it on the wooden desktop inside the house, and Lauren sleeps sitting on the dressing table, waking up suddenly after her head balancing to the front. Then Lauren starts to perform the first verse, chanting the scene for Charlotte for a few instants, in which she wakes up realizing that she has a toilet tattooed in her arm, just in line with that part of the first verse, feeling herself shocked and horrified at her discovering it. With the first first chorus are successions of the shots with them singing out loud on the stairs of the house from different angles, as well as from the wooden desktop seen before. The second verse is performed by Charlotte, where she goes walking around the house, with Lauren and Holly joining her and arriving to the living room of the house, where they continue singing with intensity while having fun at the same time during the second chorus, alternating with some of the shots previously seen. In another different shot, Holly performs the third verse from the garden, keeping the same hectic and fun dynamic between them in the different parts of the house, which is especially noticed with the funny faces they do throughout the music video, adding other more shots of them in the garden until they end up all together singing to the sofa of the living room while laughing, thus finishing the performance. Before attending the contest, they were extensively presenting their proposal in many parts of Europe, in one hand by attending the different Eurovision parties of the season, being the hosts in the one held in the British capital, as well as visiting other European destinations, promoting their proposal and appearing frequently as guests in diversity of TV shows. For the staging in Basel, this was seen like a mix of the aesthetics from the Bridgerton series, from the film Moulin Rouge, and the classic Disney fairy tales according to what was seen during the first rehearsals. This is evidenced especially with their outfits, appealing to the bright colors like yellow, pink, and cyan, which in fact they give the impression that Cinderella, Bella, and Aurora would have met up to have a wild party night, and then there are two quite curious props. In one hand, it is seen on what it looks like a very luxurious headboard, and in the other hand there is a giant chandelier like the one mentioned in the lyrics, which will be presumed to be at the bottom of the stage due to his hugeness. One more time, United Kingdom opting for giant props for their staging, which is not strange already. Watching the live performance in the grand final, they start singing in the front of the stage from a platform that has a very luxurious room divider, which was not a headboard as it was thought initially. Just before the second verse, they get down from the platform with the room divider, strafing out the flanks from their skirts to move little by little to the bottom of the stage, where is the giant chandelier leaning on the stage floor, implying that it fell down from the roof, which stands out with visual graphics showing moldings in a Baroque style. They perform the second verse of the giant chandelier, standing out shots from above where there is a synchronized swimming choreography in the LED screens of the stage floor, just in line with that part of the chorus, casually stepping down from the giant chandelier in the third verse to continue the performance in the center of the stage. For the last chorus, they all do a true vocal exhibition while they move once again to the front of the stage with a small choreography included, finishing the performance with them showing themselves behind a heart-shaped hole in the room divider. For me, this has been one of the most outstanding and memorable performances of the night. They have been amazing. There is no doubt that all that previous experience in musical theater have worked for them, because the truth is that they have showed a wide domain of the stage, in addition that they have transmitted a lot of charisma and complicity. It was noticed that they were having a good time and having fun. But the strangest thing about all this is that despite the fact that the performance was flawless, it happened at quite unexpected event. After the votes from the jury, they was put in the 10th place initially, giving the foretell of a possible good result, but after knowing the votes from the public, it was seen that they ended up receiving the infamous 0 points, descending finally to the 19th place in the final ranking. 0 points? Seriously? I just cannot believe how this was possible. Making a summary of the comments, the British entry for this year was not bad. The proposal seemed pretty interesting initially with that carefree and fun theme, although the reviews were quite mixed. While many has praised the fusion of genres, the quality of the composition and the harmonies throughout the track, many others have seen it disjointed and incoherent with those constant changes of rhythm and speed. And even with all that, they have been standing out more and more throughout the season with every live performance from them. It was clear that the proposal will be quite appreciated from the jury thanks to their natural attitude, the close complicity between the three of them, and the extraordinary vocal skills they have, without imagining that the score they will get will be thanks precisely to them. Personally, the song does not drive me crazy or gets me overly passionate, but I can listen to it perfectly without any problem. I see this final result better for them if you ask me, because even with the fact that they got more points compared with Oli Alexander last year, they will end up in a position behind him. However, it is not that they ended up at the bottom of the table, but this position has been too little considering everything this entry had to offer, but also having the disgraceful record of having received 0 points from the public for the second year in a row. Despite the result, they have expressed being grateful for the experience, keeping for themselves all the love they have received from many people throughout these months. They will move on with their musical career undoubtedly, having scheduled a concert tour throughout all United Kingdom until the end of the year, and probably they will start to work on writing new music from next year for a possible debut studio album. This has been the British proposal of this year for the contest. Now tell what do you think about it. Was it one of your favorites for the edition or does not get much of your attention instead? In any case, let me know in the comments down below thus we can start the discussion. And this is it for today's episode. Before I finish, don't forget to like this video thus you can help me bringing me your support and making this content to reach to more people. Subscribe to my channel and enable notifications by hitting the bell and follow me through my social media. Take care and see you in the next episode. Bye bye.